a lot of people are playing Wizard incorrectly, and it's not just against the rules, it's also slowing down the game. I'm going to talk about that a bit later, but first I gotta talk about how Wizards should actually cast their spells. Welcome to Intelligence 14 Wisdom 2, and Wizards cast their spells very different, slightly different from things like Sorcerers and Warlocks, and even more slightly different, even less slightly different I should say, from Clerics, Druids, and Paladins. The way Wizards cast spells is they take their spellbook, which I think we're all familiar with. Wizards have a spellbook. At first level they get 6 spells. Every new level they get 2 more spells in that spellbook. But here's the thing. A lot of people miss the big part between casting the spell and the spellbook itself. You see, there's a middle ground, the middle thing, that gets you from spellbook to casting. And that is preparation. Wizards can prepare a number of spells equal to their level plus their intelligence modifier. This is the whole purpose for these little dots over here. The little dots next to the spells. Those are to tell you these ones are prepared. These are all the spells I have in my spellbook, but these are the ones I have prepared. In order to prepare these, the Wizards have to spend 1 minute per spell level, per spell, for all of the spells they are preparing. So first level Wizard, they're going to prepare, it looks about 4 first level spells as opposed to 6. Then at 5th level, for instance, you're going to calculate it, I'm going to assume you have 5 levels, and you're probably going to have an intelligence of 4, so 9 spells. You're going to assume 5 for first level, 2 for second, and 2 for third. Actually, no, 4 for first level, 3 for second level, 2 for third level, and that's going to be, 5, and then 2 times 3, 6, then 3 times 2, also 6. So in total, you're going to spend 16 minutes preparing all of your spells as a 5th level wizard, and it keeps going up as you get into higher levels. Now, I've talked about this mechanic in my video about Cleric, Paladin, and Druid spellcasting, which you can give a watch after this video. But long story short, this preparation time doesn't matter because you're not in a time crunch in the beginning of the day after your long rest. You're in a safe place, so it really doesn't matter how long it takes, even if it takes you 2 hours to prepare your spells. Now, let's talk about how the rules as written in D&D simplify the game considerably. First thing is, they have fewer spells to deal with. I have seen this happen in games. I had a friend playing, I think it was a 9th level wizard, and his character had taken and copied the spellbook of, I think, like a 4th or 5th level spellcaster, a necromancer. Anyways, there was a bajillion spells on his character sheet. The character was a girl, he was a guy. Anyways, there was a bajillion spells on the character sheet, and so much though that they were flying off the little rows, and he was looking through trying to find a good one for this combat, and his wizard really only casts a few spells. That'd be Lightning Bolt, and Mold Earth, and Shape Water, because those are the spells he knows as opposed to all the ones that he doesn't. Anyways, if he'd followed the proper way to use wizards, where he's had to prepare a certain number of spells first, which I probably should tell him sometime this is how it works, but if he had done that, then first of all he would have less spells to deal with, less choice, which is a good thing when you're trying to speed up combat. Less choice of what spell. There is another important benefit to preparation that's not, obvious at first. And that is the fact that you have to decide which of your spells you want to take. So your wizard is going to think about, what am I going to do today? Alright, I know I'm going to a dungeon, so I'm going to need my combat spells. Do I want to take Alarm? Maybe. That would be useful for covering our backs. But then again, are we going to rush it? In that case, it's probably something like Alarm is a no, Grease is a no, Mage Armor, that's a yes, but what about, do I want to get Magic Missile or Witch Bolt? Which one is better? So you're thinking about what you're doing. What is your plan for the day? Even if you know nothing, you think about what is, I guess, the general idea of, maybe you know you're fighting fiends, so you're going to need Banishment. Banishment is going to be great. You're going to need, stay away from fire spells, go for more obscure types of damage. Go for maybe Psychic or Acid. Actually, no, most have resistance to Acid. Anyways, if you know you're going up a specific type, you change your spells to suit it. So that's, I think, in my opinion, how preparing your spells makes the game so much faster if you're playing a wizard. it's not going to, solve all the problems, but it does at least do something. And before I go, I'm going to talk about how wizards copy spells, because there's a little bit more stuff than just gold and time. Firstly, it's gold, it's 50 GP and 2 hours per level of the spell, and that at the time spent studying and practicing the spell, and the gold cost is a combination of components, special inks, and, in my opinion, insurance money to pay off the bartender when you blew a hole through his wall, because you're trying to learn Fireball, and that's what happens when you're trying to learn Fireball. So you generally gonna only be able to copy spells when you're in somewhere with a decent-sized market and, forgiving individuals. Now, if that's too much big brain stuff for you, then how about you go over here and learn how to play at least part of the dumbest class in D&D, and if that's not up to your fancy, then let's let YouTube decide what you're going to watch over here. Decent choice.